the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Can we get this show on the road, guys? I think we shall. How about that, guys? Emergency Management Associates is on the air right now, here now for all of you. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. Yes, we're here. How about that, guys? We're here for you today. First off, I've set a goal. If we get 10 super chats of $5 or more for each super chat, I'll host a members only meeting for those people. So guys, if you want to give us support to our channel, please do that. We greatly appreciate it. While I'm talking about that, we got a card from John and Laura in Oregon. Wonderful thing. She sent us a beautiful card, a happy Thanksgiving card here, but on the back of it was a picture of their driveway out in Oregon. Look at the fall leaves on the ground. What a beautiful scene. Inside it, she sent us a ATM card with some money on it. Also on the inside is a picture of their barn cat. Wonderful picture of their barn cat. Laura and John, thank you for that. She says, Dear Ron and Carol, happy Thanksgiving. We hope you have a wonderful day. Lots to be thankful for. Sincerely, John and Laura Holbrook. Thank you so much, John and Laura. God bless you all. We appreciate that. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, guys. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. It's a great thing to be able to represent the EMA family like we do every day, because I love you to pieces. I really do. I want to start off this program talking about earthquakes around the world. There's a few 5.0s we want to talk about, specifically because they are going to lead to other earthquakes. I believe those earthquakes are going to lead to other earthquakes. Over here off the northeast, or excuse me, not the north, the southeast side of the Kamchatka Peninsula. Let's take a look at these earthquakes, guys. Just a second, it's up. There we go. Down here off the southeast shore here in the Pacific Ocean, we have a 4.95.0 earthquake. 4.95.0 earthquake down here. And this is just southeast of the peninsula. The Russian peninsula here of Kamchatka belongs to Russia, like I said, but a 5.0 earthquake here. These are aftershocks. All of the earthquakes that happen now for probably 6 months to a year are all going to be aftershocks from a 8.8, 9.4 earthquake that happened several months ago. 8.8, 9.0, 9.4 full plate rupture. Full plate rupture. Out to the west, we have the Okhotsk plate. Over here, we have the Pacific plate. The Pacific plate completely ruptured away from the Okhotsk plate when that 8.8, 9.4 earthquake happened. As a result, we are still having aftershocks today. That's going to be ongoing for quite some time. Okay, let's go further south here. Okay, let's go over here. Hokkaido, Japan. Okay, we have another 5.0 earthquake here, offshore. This is 35 miles off the shore. I don't believe that this earthquake was felt over on Hokkaido. I believe this earthquake is far enough away from the island that the saints, the people that lived there on Hokkaido, were not affected except for maybe some rumbling beneath their feet. Okay, large earthquakes have after effects. This is far enough offshore. I don't think they were affected by the full blast of a large earthquake here. Okay, let's go further south here. Okay, down here, southeast of Japan. This is a 4.2 earthquake, 4.2 moderate earthquake over here in the Izu Islands of Japan. The Izu Islands of Japan. 4.2 moderate earthquake. Nobody felt that earthquake as well. Now, there are other earthquakes here around Japan, but again, the agency's not going to tell us about it. Rarely do they ever give us a full poop about what's going on. Rarely ever. Let's go further south here to north of Taiwan. Just north of Taiwan here in the, I can't even remember the islands here. The islands south of Japan here all belong to Japan. This is a 4.5 earthquake here. Okay, this is 153 miles north of Harare, Japan. Now, they've had earthquakes in the same location during this past week, and I believe this is probably a result of many other earthquakes. That means this area is also going to get hit with a large earthquake. Whenever you have rumblings that have been going on like we've had here, I believe it's leading up to a large earthquake. We shall see. We shall see. Let's go further south over here into Indonesia. Okay, over here on Sumatra. Okay, just south of Sumatra here on the earthquake fault, on the Indonesian plate. Okay, this is another 5.0 earthquake. 5.0 earthquake here. Okay, this is 69 miles southwest of Gunung Sitoli, Indonesia. 69 miles southwest of I can't hardly pronounce this. Gunung Sitoli, Indonesia. Offshore, nobody felt this earthquake either. Onshore, on land here, Sumatra, Indonesia. This is another 5.0 earthquake here. 5.0 earthquake, guess what? Did you guys know there is a volcano over here as well? Yeah, there is. Okay, this is another 5.0 earthquake near Tomoli, Bolan, Indonesia. Okay. But there is a volcano there as well. Okay. Now, again, these are not the only earthquakes that hit here. Okay. Let's go over here to just south of the Philippines here. Okay. Yesterday we had another earthquake here in the same region. This is a 4.8 moderate earthquake southeast of Pondagitan, Philippines. South of Pondagitan, Philippines. Now, because we keep having earthquakes here, we may see a large earthquake in this region as well. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Now, just because USBS does not have any other earthquakes here in Indonesia doesn't mean there aren't. There are 33 earthquakes today here in Indonesia. They still are not showing exactly what's going on. They never will. They never will. Over here in the region of Papua New Guinea, okay, right here. This is another 4.8 earthquake here. We had a 4.8, 4.9 earthquake here the other day. This is a 4.8 earthquake 35 miles northwest of Kondrian, Papua New Guinea. This is in the backbone, the spine of this island. The backbone and spine of this island. This earthquake was felt, okay? Anything 3.0 or larger is felt by these people. They don't have much money. These people who live in Papua New Guinea don't have much money at all. Okay? We ought to pray for these people. When they see a 4.8 earthquake like this, they experience it, is devastating for them because it destroys almost everything they worked their hearts out to make. Most of them live in cardboard or wooden shacks with tarpaulins pulled over the shack to protect them from the weather. Yeah, I'm real. These are hardy, industrious people, but they're very poor. Again, when we get a larger, this is not a large earthquake by any means, it is a moderate earthquake, but it's on the upper scale from 4.5 to 4.9. This is a 4.8. This will do damage to these people, unfortunately. Okay? I want to point that out. Let's go over here to the Fiji region. Fiji-Vanuatu region. This earthquake is in East Anglo, Vanuatu. Again, this is another 4.9, 5.0 earthquake. You might ask, why do I call it 4.9, 5.0? The simple reason is this. USGS and the other agencies downgrade the earthquakes to the nearest 0.9. This may have been, and I'm going to tell you, it probably was a large earthquake. That's why I call these 5.0 earthquakes. They're probably even larger than that. 5.0 earthquake, 55 miles west of East Anglo, Vanuatu. Now, I don't think this was anywhere close to any one of these islands here in Vanuatu. I think they may have felt some rumbling beneath their feet, but that's all they felt. Okay? Bless those people's hearts. Bless those people's hearts. Further south down here, this is a 5.2 earthquake. This is a large 5.2 earthquake. This is southeast of the Loyalty Islands here. Okay? I don't think anybody felt this earthquake as well. It's far enough away from any islands here, nobody felt this earthquake. But again, look where it's at. On the edge of the plate here. This earthquake is on the edge of the plate. Let's back out of here. I want to show you exactly what's going on here. Go up into Fiji here. Okay? In Fiji here. This is a 4.6 earthquake, 152 miles east of Levuka, Fiji. 4.6 moderate quake. Nobody felt that earthquake. In the ocean here, this earthquake was absorbed the seismic energy was absorbed by the Pacific waters of the ocean. Okay, right here. This is a 4.2. Nobody felt either one of these earthquakes. This 4.6 here just happened. Just happened. That's why it's red right here. But let's back out here. One more earthquake here in Tonga. Okay. This is a 5.0 large earthquake here as well. 67 miles northeast of Hihifo, Tonga. Again, look where it's at. This earthquake, like the other earthquakes, are on the edge of the plate here. The two Fiji earthquakes are on the edge of the plate right there. There are 7 different plates in play here, I should say. 7 different tectonic plates in play here between Samoa and Tonga, all the way over here into, actually down here into New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, going up here into Thailand, Vietnam, Burma, that whole area. Also up here into Taiwan and Japan. 7 different tectonic plates. This is the world's largest subduction zone. This is the world's largest subduction zone. One plate subducting none of the other here. Let me bring up my webcam here so I can show you what I'm talking about subduction. One plate subducting none of the other, just like this. Okay? When we have solar flares like we have, we continue to have right now. When we have solar flares, the plasma radiation from the sun comes over to the planets. When it hits one of the planets, it engulfs the planets like this. This is Earth right now. We are being engulfed by a solar flare at this time. Okay? When that happens, that solar radiation penetrates our magnetosphere, and our magnetosphere is very weak. Okay? We just 2 years ago came out of a solar minimum. Our magnetosphere is very weak still. As we go through the solar maximum that we are presently in, we hope that the magnetosphere will increase its strength to help more protect the Earth. But right now, this plasma radiation's going through the magnetosphere into our atmosphere, helping heat up the atmosphere as well. When the plasma radiation hits the Earth, it penetrates the Earth like this. Okay? It heats up the surface of the Earth, it heats up the tectonic plates. Also, that plasma radiation penetrates even the core of the Earth, heats up the core of the Earth. When this happens, when that plasma radiation goes to the plates or the faults, everything that's been holding those plates in place like this, friction, biological material, sand, dirt, rock, all that stuff turns into an oily, greasy-like substance that allows the plates to more freely move like this. That's when we have plate subduction. It also allows the faults to more freely move like this. Whether it's up and down or sideways lateral like this, it allows those plates and the faults to more freely move. That's when we have earthquakes. The plasma radiation from the solar flares is causing these earthquakes. I want to make that clear. Also, one of the other things that's affecting these plates and the faults are planetary alignments. Whenever we have a planetary alignment in play, that planetary alignment causes electromagnetic radiation to penetrate their surface. The same thing happens then. That radiation causes the gunk and grime holding the plates and the faults in place, turns it into an oily, greasy-like substance, allows the plates and the faults to more freely move, causing earthquakes. That's what we're seeing now. We're seeing a lot of large earthquakes right now. Given that, We may continue to see large earthquakes, and I believe we're going to see some major earthquakes coming. I believe we're going to see some major earthquakes coming, guys. That's one of the reasons I talk about preparedness. You need to prepare for what's going to happen. We don't know exactly where these earthquakes are going to hit, but I'm telling you right now, these major earthquakes are going to hit land. They are going to affect hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people. We need to be prepared for whatever happens here. Okay? Any questions about that? Any questions about that? Now, I want to go over here to the Middle East. Okay? Afghanistan here. This is another 4.4 earthquake here near Kanamabad, Afghanistan. Another 4.4 earthquake. About 6 months ago, we had a 6.1 earthquake here. Actually, I think it was about 4 months ago. We had a 6.1 very strong earthquake. It was a very shallow earthquake. When we have shallow earthquakes, that's when we see the most damage ever from an earthquake, when it is very shallow. When we have those shallow earthquakes, it completely destroys areas. In this case, the people living here in Afghanistan were living basically in mud huts. Mud huts. Homes and businesses made out of mud walls. When that 6.1 very strong earthquake hit, it all but totally destroyed villages. All but totally destroyed villages. A lot of people died. It wouldn't surprise me that people are still passing away as a result of those earthquakes. The earthquakes continue to happen here. It doesn't matter whether the USGS or any other agency says they're happening. They are happening every day. Okay? But besides that, they also have other minor earthquakes that aren't felt. But can you imagine after having a 6.1 earthquake, seeing almost total destruction? Another lesser earthquake hits. You're going to think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen now? Is this another earthquake that might hurt me or hurt my family? All these thoughts, I'm sure, are going through people's minds when just another moderate earthquake hits. And this is a mid-range 4. Mid-range 4. What happens when a moderate earthquake hits? What happens when a moderate earthquake hits, guys? Cause moderate damage. Knocks pictures off of walls. Knocks bookcases down. Can knock books and knickknacks off of shelves. Can rattle plates and dishes and even glasses in cupboards. If it rattles them enough, they also fall and get destroyed. That's what's happening here in Afghanistan. That is what's happening in other places that have moderate earthquakes. It's happening. We go look at Europe. Look at this. USGS is not saying anything about Europe. That's a fallacy. It's a lie. There are over 1,000 earthquakes here in Europe. Can I say that again? There are over 1,000 earthquakes here in Europe. Approximately 300 earthquakes in Turkey. Imagine that. Over 300 earthquakes in Turkey. Right here. In this area here between the Turkish-Syria border region, we have 29 earthquakes here today. Those earthquakes here today are a result of that great big huge monster earthquake that hit here 3 years ago, two and a half years ago. 9.0, 10.0 earthquake hit here February 3rd, 2023. 5,000 people killed, 5,000 more people injured. When they see these earthquakes hitting here today, yes, some of them are tremors, not all of them. Some of them are minor earthquakes, but not all of them. Some of these earthquakes are small and moderate earthquakes. These small and moderate earthquakes instill fear in people because they remember what happened the last time 2.5 years ago when their villages were completely destroyed. Yes, completely and utterly destroyed. Apartment buildings and other buildings were taken down. Incredible destruction. Aid is still flowing into those countries right here to try to help those people. But it's not everything that's going on. Northern Turkey, central Turkey, and southern Turkey are also getting hit. Northwestern Turkey right here. 250 earthquakes here today. 250 earthquakes right here today. They keep getting hit with large 5.0, 5.5 earthquakes here. And as a result, the aftershocks keep piling on day after day. Unreal. That's why I said there probably are over 400 earthquakes today here in Turkey. Turkey alone. There are earthquakes here in the Aegean Sea, earthquakes down around Greece here, mainland Greece here as well. 18 earthquakes here as well. Yeah. Let's go over here to southern Italy. There are earthquakes over here around Sicily and Italy here. Earthquakes. Most of those minor earthquakes and tremors. But we go over here. This is a completely different story here. We have a volcano that's trying to erupt here. We had moderate earthquakes here earlier this week and last week. People are running scared. This is Vesuvius volcano, guys. Vesuvius volcano has been steaming, shaking. Whenever we see this, we know for a fact that these volcanoes are building up steam. And I'm not just talking about steaming, I'm talking about strength to erupt. Vesuvius volcano has not erupted in eons, literally. But now it's rumbling. Around the outer areas over here to the northeast, it's a very urban population. Down here to the south, huge urban population here. Over here near the shoreline, huge urban population here. And over here to the northwest, huge urban populations here. These people running scared. USGS almost never shows any earthquakes going on here. There are about 20 earthquakes in and around Vesuvius volcano here, around Naples. Again, the agency refuses to show us what's going on here. There are earthquakes over here in north central Italy here. We have swarms of earthquakes hitting here every day. 20 to 25 earthquakes here every day. Italy here keeps getting hit with 5.0 earthquakes, but they're happening about every 6 months now. Swarms of earthquakes hitting here. Swarms of earthquakes over here in Croatia, Romania, Belgrade, Serbia. This whole area here is getting hit with earthquakes all over. Tremors and minor earthquakes hitting Austria, Germany, northern Italy here in the Alps mountains here, we're getting hit with tremors and minor earthquakes. Northern Italy on the south side of the mountains here, tremors and minor earthquakes in resort areas. Over in France, they're getting hit with tremors and minor earthquakes as well. All over, central, north, and south of France, getting hit. Spain, minor earthquakes and tremors here. Down here in the Canary Islands, we're seeing tremors and minor earthquakes here. Okay? Earthquakes everywhere, literally. We go up into Norway and Sweden here. Earthquakes here. I used to live there. I used to live in basically south central Sweden. I told you a town last week called Trollhättan. I showed you where Trollhättan was at. I lived in that town. Great town. Probably a town of about 45,000 people. Great people, wonderful people. They give you the shirts off their back. They would literally give you the shirt off their back. Now we are having earthquakes over in that region. Lots and lots of earthquakes. Most of the time, it's 1 or 2 earthquakes here, 2 or 3 earthquakes there. That's what's going on. But the earthquakes continue. Earthquakes are continuing there. Let's go up there right now. USGS is not showing anything. Very typically not showing anything. Over here in Kungsbacka, Holland County, Sweden, we have a 1.4 tremor here. This is just south of Trollhättan, where I used to live. 1.4 tremor. Okay? Norway. Vestfold, Norway. This is 1.1 tremor here. North of there, Norway, again. This is a 2.0 earthquake in Inlet, Norway. 2.0 earthquake here in Inlet, Norway. Okay? Over towards Stockholm. Dalarna County, Sweden. This is a 1.2 tremor there. We go north. Västernorrland County. That's a 1.4 tremor there. Let's go north towards Finland here. Northern Finland. Kanu, Finland. This is a 1.8 tremor here in Finland. They used to never see earthquakes here. Now they are. Yes, these are tremors, but occasionally we will even see minor 2.0, 2.6, 2.7 earthquakes here in Scandinavia. They're happening. Now, I'm going to take you up to Iceland now. Let's go over here to Iceland right here. Okay? USGS is not showing us anything at all. Guess what? We have earthquakes here. Right here. Okay? Hold on a second. I want to make sure we have the right location here. Here it is right there. We have a 2.3 minor earthquake right there. 2.3 earthquake right there. It is a non-occupied area. Nobody lives there. Nobody lives there. But we also have one further north. Let's back out of here. This is a 2.7 earthquake here. This is a minor 2.7 earthquake. Okay. So far, these are isolated earthquakes in unpopulated areas. Iceland's gotten lucky. Iceland has gotten very lucky. Earthquakes are still hitting here. For the most part, I'm going to tell you this. Over here in the Reykjanes Peninsula right here, I believe we're going to still see a volcanic eruption here very soon. I believe we're going to see a volcanic eruption right in this area very soon, right here. Right here. Now, this earthquake, this volcanic eruption, it will look like earth splitting because that's exactly what's going to happen. We've been seeing this for the past 2 years here in Iceland. Earth opens up. Great big, huge, long fissure, anywhere from 1 kilometer long to 13 kilometers long, 6 miles long, 6, 7 miles long. Huge fissure opens up, and lava pours out of it. Lava pours out of it 100 feet high. Then over a matter of months, weeks, months, all of a sudden, some of that fissure activity goes down, dissipates and disappears. Some of the fissure still is erupting, fountaining. Where those fountains occur, there are craters and cones that develop. That is another volcano that's erupted there. I believe we're going to see that happen again. I believe we're going to see that happen again. Let me back out here. I want to show you why. See where this earthquake fault is that's coming up here? The Mid-Atlantic Fault. As I said before, the Mid-Atlantic Fault is doing this. It's expanding. It's expanding. With that expansion, down here in the south, we have a volcano. Right there. Right on top of the fault, there's a volcano. As this plate splits, as this plate expands like this, we're going to continue to see enhanced seismic activity, and we're going to continue to see enhanced volcanic activity as well. Approximately 3.5, 4 years ago, the volcano here erupted. Huge eruption going on. No, it did not go very high, but it was huge eruption nonetheless. It filled valleys full of lava here. It filled full valleys full of lava here. A lot of lava erupted here. Then it stopped. Scientists wondered what happened to it. Well, we all know what happened. As the lava dissipated, it started moving north in underground chambers. In under the ground chambers. Move north. There are many fissures that open up. Those long fissures that I said, many fissures that open up, and they had volcanic activity. Every time. Lava fountaining. Huge lava fountaining occurring. It continued. And I believe it's going to continue today. I don't believe today we're going to have necessarily volcanic eruption today, but it's going to happen very soon. One of the last eruptions here was north of Greenvik here. Greenvik is a seafaring community. About 3,000 people used to live here. There are still people living here and still people that are working here. There was fear for a time that there were earthquakes over here in the harbor of Greenvik. Right here in the harbor of Greenvik. They thought the volcano was going to erupt here. It did not. It did not. But outside of Greenvik out here, we had two volcanic eruptions. Two different fissures, one larger, one smaller. The one closer to Greenvik erupted lava, and it came into Greenvik. It came into Greenvik. And when that happened, guess what happened? It burned down 4 homes right here. The lava torched 4 homes here and destroyed them. They have since built a huge volcanic barrier here. Excuse me. They built a huge earthen wall here. 90 feet high now. 90 feet high. They've had other fissure eruptions here that have poured lava out in the landscape. That lava has increased landmass here. One lava field on top of another. That's why they had to build these earthen walls so high, to protect the cities. Okay? Not just cities. Not just cities. As we move north. As we move north here. Right here. This is a place called Svartsengi. Down here, down here. Right here we have a power plant. A geothermal power plant. Powered by magma beneath the surface. Magma heating the groundwater here, and at the power plant they take that heated groundwater and pump it throughout the entire country. Heated water from the Svartsengi power plant heats homes and businesses throughout Iceland here. Okay? What else is here? Right here. This is a Blue Lagoon Spa. This is a Blue Lagoon Spa. This is a huge international spa. They have a hotel here where people can stay, paying money to stay, and they soak in the thermal waters of the Blue Lagoon Spa. Like I said, they had to build a huge earthen wall around the Blue Lagoon Spa and the Svartsengi power plant here. Now, what's going to happen now? We've had fissure eruptions up here north of the Svartsengi power plant and the Blue Lagoon. I fully expect the next eruption to be up further north here, in this area right here. At some point in time, what's going to happen? What's going to happen here? The eruptions are going to continue. Up here north, we have Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. Outside Reykjavik here, just outside Reykjavik, they have a smaller power plant, about 2/3 the size of the power plant over at Svartsengi. They fear this power plant also draws water, heated water from the groundwater facility here that comes from the volcano. But they have fears that this power plant also could be damaged or destroyed from another volcanic eruption. So far, they've gotten very lucky. It has not happened. But like I said, it very well could. very well could happen. These people, like I said, are very industrious people. I think they now say there's over 330,000 people living here in Iceland. Most of them around here in Reykjavik. Very hardy, industrious people. You have to be living in the cold like they do. But they are going to be invaded by lava. They're getting hit by earthquakes like I just showed you. Earthquakes to the north of Iceland up here. Earthquakes all over the island. We also have volcanoes here. See this great big huge glacier here? Bardabunga volcano is down here underneath this glacier. To the south down here, there's another smaller volcano. Under this ice sheet, there's a smaller volcano. The last time this volcano erupted, it shut down air traffic all over Europe. Shut down air traffic all over Europe. We have been seeing earthquakes here near Bardabunga and also down here. Are these volcanoes going to erupt again? Possibly. Possibly. We are keeping an eye on what's going on here. We're keeping a close eye on what's going on here in Iceland. Since I've been reporting in Iceland, I've made friends with people here in Iceland. Wonderful, wonderful people. They've been helping me a great deal to tell you what's going on. As you can see here in the United States, we have earthquakes. Texas, Oklahoma here. Oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Each and every one of these earthquakes are in an oil and gas pumping field. They're in oil and gas pumping fields here. Okay? One of the largest earthquakes here in Oklahoma is this one here. This just happens to be a 1.4 tremor. That's one of the largest. One of the largest here. Down here in the southwest is another 1.4. However, let's go up here to the border of Kansas. Or I should say, yeah, Kansas, I'm sorry, and Kansas here. Kansas also has earthquakes because of oil and gas drilling. This is a 2.5 earthquake here near Knowles, Oklahoma. 2.5 minor earthquake near Knowles, Oklahoma. Oil and gas. Oil and gas. Down here closer to Texas here in Oklahoma, this is the 2.0 earthquake here near Hilton, Oklahoma. Oil and gas. This is near Wapanucka, Oklahoma. Wapanucka, Oklahoma. Up until today, I've never seen an earthquake here. Let's zoom in here and see what's going on here. Look at this. USGS says this is a quarry blast. Quarry blast. It's not near any quarry, guys. Where's this earthquake? Where's this earthquake? If it's not near a quarry, where is it? What is it? Off to the east here. Guess what? An oil and gas pad here. An oil and gas pad. Down here further south, more oil and gas pads here. Yeah. This again is an oil and gas earthquake. Oil and gas earthquake. Fracking operation. Fracking operations, guys. Of course, Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? Absolutely it is. Down here in central and southwestern Texas, more oil and gas quakes. These are in oil and gas fields here. Oil and gas fields all over here. Okay, right here. This is a 3.1 earthquake near Garden City, Texas. Garden City, Texas. Small earthquake. People actually felt this earthquake. Small 3.1. Guess what? 5.2 miles deep. Shell earthquake. They felt it. Now, I've done my research. When they drill for oil and gas, sometimes they go down as far as 5 to 6 miles deep. Oil and gas fracking quake right here. Oil and gas fracking earthquake. Over here, that's a 1.1 tremor. 1.1 tremor. 1.1 tremor here. This 1.1 tremor here and the other one are quite close to the Texas-New Mexico border. Oil and gas quakes. Right here, you see a good-sized swarm of earthquakes. Guess what? Oil and gas fracking quakes. Oil and gas fracking quakes. Look at all the pads all over this area. Oil and gas fracking quakes. 2.6 earthquake. 1.6. 2.4. 2.3. 1.8. 1.5. And this is a 1.6. Oil and gas fracking quakes in Texas. All over. Everywhere. Trish Killian's here in the chat. Hello, Ron, Mods, and EMA family. I'm doing well. What's going to take? It's going to take a few more days before I'm really feeling myself again. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Trish and Rich, as well. God bless you all. God bless you and your family. We love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Yes, I hope you get to feeling better soon. Trish had some medical issues. Now I hope she's on the mend. God bless her and her family. We can pray for her as well. Okay? It's a good thing to pray for our family members, right? Surely is. Okay? Yesterday we talked about earthquakes over here in California. Southern California to be exact. Over 900 earthquakes here a day here in Southern California. 900 earthquakes a day here in Southern California. Unreal. Craziness. Total crazy. But they happen. They happen all the time. Going up here to the north. South of San Francisco Bay. Down here to the south. Right here. This small town is the earthquake capital of California. Earthquake capital of the world. Parkfield, California. Today we have a 1.2 tremor here. Right next to it is another 1.3. Parkfield, California. To the north, the Pinnacles. Also on the San Andreas Fault, we have oil and gas drilling going on here in the Pinnacles. Okay, for the north, right here, Gilroy, California. Here in Gilroy, California, we continue to see earthquakes here. Back in the 70s, we had a large earthquake here in Gilroy, California. We might be seeing another large earthquake coming because we continue to see swarms of minor earthquakes here. Gilroy, California. This is a 3.6 earthquake. This is a 1.6 here. Okay. This is just east of Monterey Bay here. What else is happening here? You see the San Andres Fault here? Just barely east of the San Andres, we have the Hayward Fault. And just east of there, we have the Calaveras Fault. When these three faults get together, this is one of the most dangerous areas in the United States because they have three different major earthquake faults here. When the earthquake faults converge, this could be one of the most dangerous areas to be. Major earthquake on one fault could trigger all the other faults. The same thing for the north here in San Francisco. Up here north. Carlitos, California. 2.1 minor earthquake. Over here into the shoreline. Bonnie Doon, California. This is the second earthquake we've had here in Bonnie Doon. This is a 2.2 earthquake here. 2.2 earthquake here. Over here to the northeast, right between the Hayward and the Calaveras Fault. This is a 1.1 tremor here in San Ramon. One of our dear friends, Rob 52, has a daughter here and her husband and grandkids living here in San Ramon. This is another 1.1 tremor here in San Ramon. They had a 3.3 earthquake here a few weeks ago. They keep having earthquakes here. Are they going to have another large earthquake? Possibly. They possibly could. Further north here, we've continued to see earthquakes here in Vallejo, California. This is another 2.1 earthquake here. These earthquakes continue to happen here. Are we going to see another major earthquake here? Possibly. That's why I keep reporting on it. I want to keep this out in front of all of you because this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Okay? I want to make sure you are all aware of that. It's going to happen. Today, I want to go over here to the New Madrid Fault. Today, the USGS is not showing anything going on here. Nothing down south near the Gulf of America. Nothing in Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. Nothing in Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Illinois. Nothing. Why not? There are earthquakes here. What I'm now going to show you might surprise you. What I'm going to show you now is going to probably surprise all of you. Get ready, guys. Get ready. Our New Madrid Fault here is very busy. It's very busy here. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding in the least. This is Hetachikoon, Arkansas, about 40 miles west of the New Madrid Fault. Look at the earthquakes hitting here. Look at the earthquakes hitting here. This is 12 noon yesterday. We had tremors and a minor earthquake, and then we had a 3.0 earthquake here. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes there. Then, 12:45 on the left-hand side of the green line, come over here to the right. Now we are at 12:58 p.m. yesterday afternoon. 3.4 earthquake here. 3.4 earthquake here. Didn't stop. Didn't stop at all. What happened after 1 p.m.? Just before 1:07 p.m. yesterday afternoon, several more back-to-back 3.0 earthquakes hit. 3.0 to 3.9 earthquakes are small earthquakes, small felt earthquakes. Unreal. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. yesterday. Another time here we have multiple 3.0 earthquakes here. 2:18 yesterday afternoon. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes here again. 7 3.0 earthquakes hit here yesterday afternoon. They're hitting here again. Now I need to remind you, 3 years ago on the New Madrid fault, all we were seeing were tremors, 1.0 to 1.9 tremors, nothing larger. That was 3 years ago. 2 years ago, the strength of the earthquakes were increasing. The seismicity in the area was increasing. Larger and larger earthquakes were happening. I'm not talking about 5.0 large earthquakes. I'm talking about minor earthquakes, 2.0 to 2.9. I'm talking about 3.0 to 3.9, 4.0s. Yes, we've seen 4.5 earthquakes here on the New Madrid fault this past year. Yeah. The possibility of a very strong 8.0 earthquake is pending. It's pending. The last time the New Madrid fault gave up, they said it was a 7.1 earthquake. That was before they even established the Richter scale. Caused major damage. Major damage. The Mississippi River stopped flowing for 7 minutes. It also changed its route. It also opened up a new lake called the Reelfoot Lake. Because as the water backed up, not flowing, the water formed in a valley there in where is now the Reelfoot Lake. Buried some cabins there. People lost their lives. They don't know and are not aware of the exact death toll when that earthquake hit. Back in the December 1811, January 1812. Look what's happening here. 40 miles east of the Mississippi River. 40 miles east of the great big huge New Madrid fault. It's moving. It's moving in a huge way. Let's go on here. Let's look at Little River, Arkansas, right next to Little Rock. Little River, yesterday afternoon. Tremor activity. Lots of tremor activity. Long duration tremor activity. Lasting 15, 30 minutes at a time. The entire ground area is moving. moving. Huge movement there. 30 minutes worth of shaking, that's huge. Let's go over north to Marquette, Arkansas. Look what's happening here. In the morning, 1:54 a.m. in the morning on the right side. We start off with tremors that have happened for about 10 or 15 minutes, or I should say 10 or 12 minutes. Then we have 2.0 earthquake. That calms down the tremors again, and then about 45 seconds later, we have another 2.0 earthquake. Then it continues and gets larger. Look at this seismic sequence here. Large seismic activity continued for 3 minutes. 3.0, 3.5, 4.0 earthquakes. 3 minutes worth of shaking here. The top and the bottom of this sequence has been cut off. That means this earthquake was larger than what they're showing here. They don't want to report exactly how strong this earthquake was. 3 minutes worth of shaking. 3.5, 4.0 earthquake here. Prior to that, at 12:15 in the morning, 12:19, 12:20, we've had tremors and then minor earthquakes. Look what happened at 1:15 on the red line. More tremors. 1:45, tremors and minor earthquake again. Then we pop our way down to the blue line here. The blue line here. Guess what? More earthquakes. Guys, this is 5:34 in the morning. 5:34 in the morning. It starts off with some tremors, then it builds up to 3.0 status again. Multiple earthquakes again. Multiple earthquakes. What happens after 9:15 on the red line? More tremors, long duration tremors. We jump down to the black line after 10 a.m. this morning, or in the morning. Look what happened here. About 10:09 a.m. this morning. Guess what? More seismic activity. Tremors building into minor earthquakes 2.0 and larger. Before it's all said and done, we have 2.6, 2.7 earthquakes. Minor earthquakes, no minor earthquakes can't be felt, but they're earthquakes nonetheless. We've seen large earthquakes in this. We've seen more earthquakes in this as well at Marquette. This is comparatively small activity. Just after 11:50 this morning. Look at this. Tremor activity building up to minor 2.5, 2.6 activity. Earthquakes. Marquette, Arkansas. Marquette, Arkansas in the afternoon. Look at this. Tremor activity at the top left line, that's 12 noon. Dropping down here to 2:30 on the blue line. Yes, again, we have 3.0 earthquakes, but that seismic energy started before that. It started actually at 2:28 p.m. on the red line on the right. 2:28, 2:29 p.m., we had minor tremors. Then suddenly at 2:30, those minor tremors turned into 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, and 3.0 earthquake activity here. 3.0 earthquake activity for nearly a minute and a half. Earth shook here in Montreal, Arkansas. Let's still move here. Let's go on. I showed you Atascocita, Arkansas yesterday afternoon. Look at this morning. This morning, Atascocita, Arkansas. 1 a.m. this morning, black line. 3.0 earthquakes back to back. Multiple earthquakes. Look at all this tremor activity. .443 this morning on the blue line. 3.0 earthquake again. Over here at approximately 5:21 this morning. Tremors building up to a 2.0 earthquake, then dissipating again. 3.0 earthquake, small earthquakes. On the blue line on the right-hand side. This is 5:28 a.m. this morning. Another 3.0 earthquake. 3, 4, 5. 5:05 a.m. this morning. Another 3.0 earthquake. Over here at 5:26 a.m. this morning. 2.8 earthquake. 2.8 minor earthquake. We drop down the blue line here. 6:30 on the left. Over here we have 6:40. 6:40. Another 3.0 earthquake. Excuse me, 6:59. 2.5, 2.6. Minor earthquake. 3.0 earthquakes can be felt. 2.5 earthquakes cannot. Minor earthquake. We drop down here to this next blue line. This is 9:30 this morning. 3.3 earthquake. 3.3 earthquake here. Unreal, guys. This again was not happening 3 years ago. Seismic activity 2 years ago started building up. Now we're seeing mid-range threes here. Mid-range small earthquakes. 10:03 a.m. in the morning. Another 3.0 earthquake. 10:46 a.m. 2.4, 2.5. Over the right side. 11:45. 11:44, 11:45 a.m. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. All this is at Atascocita, Arkansas. This is craziness. We go over to Central Arkansas. Ozark Folk Center, Arkansas. Look what's happening here. The top line up here is midnight. That's midnight. Down here we have tremors, and that's it. Microquakes and tremors until until 6:15 in the morning. 3.3 earthquake here. 6:15 this morning, a 3.3 earthquake. Central Arkansas, probably 200 miles west of the Pneumatic Fault, west of the Mississippi River. Yes, we're having 3.0 earthquakes later that same timeline. Okay. This point in time, we're over, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Over here at 6:22 a.m. this morning, we have tremors building up to 3.0 earthquake again. 6:30 on the left-hand side. We come over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6:36, another 3.0 earthquake. Then we have a 2.5, 2.6 after that. And after that, about 2.5 minutes later, we have another 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Then we go down here to 9:15 over on the left-hand side over here. Now we're at 9:27. Actually, 9:28. 9:28 on the red line here on the right. Now we're talking about a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake again. We drop down to 10 a.m., 10:01 a.m. Tremor activity. We drop down to 11 a.m. Tremor activity. 11:30 on the left-hand side of the blue line, tremor activity. But within several minutes, we have more earthquakes. More full-blown earthquakes, 3.0 larger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 11:38. Multiple 3.0, 3.2 earthquakes. Minute and a half later, more multiple 3.0, 3.2 earthquakes here. 3 minutes later, again, we have multiple 3.0, 3.2 earthquakes here. Incredible. Didn't stop, did it? No, it didn't. We come over here to approximately 11:52 a.m. 11:52. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes again. Ozark Folk Center, Central Arkansas. This should be far enough away from the pneumatic fault where we should be seeing it, shouldn't we? Guess what? Seismic energy is here. It's fracturing rock in this location, causing earth movement. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the San Andreas Fault goes? Seismic energy is just not going to be on the fault. It's going to be all throughout the surrounding area, hundreds of miles in each direction. Hundreds, if not thousands of miles in each direction, you're going to feel this shaking going on. We're going to have at least an 8.1 earthquake here. Millions of people are going to feel this earth shaking. They are already feeling the shaking, guys. They are already feeling the shaking here. Truman, Arkansas, south of Marktree. Look what's going on here. The top line on the left is midnight. We have basically tremor activity. We jump down here to 12:30, 12:45. more tremor activity. But we move over here to the right-hand side here. Now we are at 12:49 a.m. this morning, or 12:49 a.m. Yes, 12:49 a.m. this morning. We have tremors. Within 2.5 minutes, we're seeing 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 earthquakes. Then within a minute after that, now we are seeing 3.0 activity again. 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 activity. Look at this closely. They cut off the top and they cut off the bottom of this sequence. They do not want us to see how strong this earthquake was. I'm just telling you, this may have been as strong as a 3.5 earthquake here. These earthquakes are felt earthquakes. Look at all these tremors, minor earthquakes here. This is what we had at Truman, Arkansas. Yes, we started seeing 3.0 earthquakes here in Truman. We've actually seen a lot more earthquakes here than this. This is almost minor to compare with what we've seen before. But the ground is still shaking. Truman, Arkansas this afternoon. Look at this. Not much of anything, right? Just tremors, minor earthquakes here, that's all. Tremors, minor earthquakes. Let's keep going here. Let's go south to Tyronza, Arkansas. Look what's happening in Tyronza, Arkansas, guys. I believe we're close to 80 earthquakes here in Tyronza, Arkansas. I believe we're close to 80 earthquakes here in Tyronza, Arkansas. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. Tremors and minor earthquakes, and down here near the bottom here, this is 11:18, 11:19 this morning. Another 3.0 earthquake here. This time down here in Tyronza, Arkansas. Up and down the fault line. Up and down the entire fault line. Arkansas side, earthquakes. Up and down the entire fault line on the new manifold here, we have earthquakes. Full-blown earthquakes. Felt earthquakes. Apparently nobody wants to hear this. We've been up as much as 28, 29 people watching this program. Now it's dropped down to 20. Nobody wants to hear it. Now up to 22. I understand it's Thanksgiving Eve. But folks, do you want to take your own lives in your own hands here? We can stop here. We don't have to warn you what's going on. But I'm telling you, the new manifold is getting ready for bigger activity. It's getting bigger, larger activity happening. The activity has increased substantially, quite substantially. It's only going to get larger and more prevalent. It's only going to get larger and more prevalent. In my opinion, based on the science that we have here, based on the data, I believe we're going to see a major earthquake here on the new manifold within the next 2 years. Based on the data we have here, I believe the new manifold is probably going to give up to a major earthquake within the next 2 years. I don't think it's going to go much past that. 2 years, considering all we continue to see here. Seismic activity has increased. It's continuing to increase every day. Every day. It can't help but move even more. Now, let's go north to East Prairie, Missouri. East Prairie, Missouri. Central Missouri, guys, the center part of the Pneumatic Fault. Hours this morning, from midnight to about 6 a.m. Don't have much. Maybe it's because the agents that run the agency turned down the seismographs. I shouldn't say seismographs. They turned down the machines to the seismographs. Turn them down so they don't have to report anything going on. Yes, occasionally we do have a tremor come up. Maybe that activity is larger than just a tremor. The activity is overcoming the electronic turndown of the machine. Yeah. But here at East Prairie, this is north of where the Mississippi River turns to the east. Turns to the east, guys. This is just north of there. Here we are seeing tremors and minor earthquakes here. Tremors and minor earthquakes here in East Prairie. We have seen 3.0 earthquakes here in East Prairie. We saw it last week. Seen it last week. Let's go over to Guam, Missouri now. Guam, Missouri. Look here at Guam. Long duration tremor activity here. In the past, we've had some 3.0 earthquakes here in Guam, Missouri. Yes, these tremors are getting as large as a 2.0, 2.2 earthquake here. Yeah, they are. But this could just as easily turn into 3.0, 4.0 earthquakes. They've happened here in Guam, Missouri before. Yeah. Let's keep going here. This is Guam, Missouri this afternoon. Still nothing more than long duration tremors, and they're turning into 2.0 earthquakes as well. Okay, let's keep going. I want to go now over to let's go over to Pires, Missouri. Pires, Missouri, right alongside the Pneumatic Fault. Look at this. This is seemingly very minor. Seemingly very minor. Yes, we're seeing some good sized earthquakes here. Up at the top on the blue line. Up at the top of the blue line. 2:30 this morning. Tremor activity building into 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes. The 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes happened for 2 minutes. Then they stopped. They stopped for about a minute and a half and then completely stopped. Meaning the secondary quake activity happened for a minute and a half. So maybe we had 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes. Minor earthquakes still. Then we jump down here to near the bottom of this seismogram on the green line. Let me enlarge this seismogram so you can see what we're talking about here. Okay. 8:45 this morning on the left-hand side. We come over here to 8:56 a.m. this morning. We start off with tremors. The tremors have been happening for 2.5 minutes. Then all of a sudden we have 3.0 activity. Small earthquake activity. Felt earthquake activity. Unreal, guys. This seismic activity continued for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Continued for 8 minutes, including the secondary quake, and that was movement that culminated in 1.2, 1.3 tremors. Yeah, that is a lot of shaking going on. That's a lot of shaking going on. Look at this tremor activity, guys. It's all over here. Pires, Missouri. What I'm saying is this. It's movement. There is a lot of movement. Let's go over to the East Tennessee seismic zone. The East Tennessee seismic zone. Can I say look out? Look what's happening here. Right now, I want to tell you this. I don't believe it's going to be necessarily just the new manifold that's going. The East Tennessee seismic zone is also moving a great deal. This seismic zone was not moving this greatly until just this year. This year it took off. You folks in Tennessee, you need to be aware of this. Because on the west side, you have the new Madrid fault, capable of an 8.0, maybe 8.5 earthquake. Over here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Tennessee, look out. This earthquake here is capable of a 6.0. The seismic zone here is capable of a 6.0 or larger quake. Yes, we're seeing some tremors here. We're seeing some minor 2.0, 2.9. We are also seeing 3.0, 3.2 earthquakes here. 3.0, 3.2 earthquakes, and you can see where they're at. This is Hopper, Tennessee. Hopper, Tennessee, guys. Did you think you're going to see this? Probably not. It's moving. Hopper didn't stop just because the hours changed. The top line here is 12 noon. Earthquakes continued. Come over here to the right. 12:10 a.m. 3.0 earthquake. Then down here at approximately 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2:06 p.m. 3.0 earthquake again. 2:05. Another 3.0 earthquake here. 2.5 minutes later, another 3.0. It doesn't stop. Again, I'm going to tell you this. Again, this is the East Tennessee seismic zone. It's moving. This is the edge of the plate. This is the Eastern Continental Divide. This is the edge, the eastern side of the East Continental Divide. To the east of here is the Atlantic Plate. And again, the Atlantic Plate is pushing the North American plate in a south-southwesterly direction. Yes, the Mid-Atlantic Plate is causing most of this. The new Manifold is going to give it up. Guys. What I've shown you today should be a wake-up call. I will continue to show you the new manifold on a weekly basis. As we get more and more earthquakes here, I'll show it to you more often. But this seismic activity here does not just happen on once a week basis. This activity happens every day, all day long. All day long, guys. I think you ought to know about it. If you don't have relatives here, you know somebody who lives here. Either on the New Madrid seismic zone or in the eastern Tennessee seismic zone. This stretches all the way north to Canada. It's not the Tennessee seismic zone then. It is the Eastern Continental Divide. And we're getting earthquakes. USGS doesn't show it to us because they don't want us to know about it. But I'm telling you now, as you get together with your families for Thanksgiving, yes, we have EMA family members here on the New Madrid Fault. As you bring your family together for Thanksgiving to give thanks for what you have, you need to seriously talk to them about earthquakes in this area. Because millions of people live here up and down the entire fault line. Millions of people are going to be affected when this fault line goes. I've been part now of 3 different earthquake drills here on the New Madrid Fault. The first one was in 2011. The 200-year anniversary of the fault giving up. Since that time, we've had 2 more minor drills. 2 more minor earthquake drills involving all law enforcement, all firefighters, all first responders, paramedics included, from private companies to municipal companies. Also, National Guard troops. We've also involved citizens living in the area. They get to play victims to us. So our first responders can act out how they are going to rescue survivors of the quake. Yeah. So they can practice rescuing survivors. It's going to happen. We paid these victims, these play victims of the drill. We paid them about $10 an hour for the services. Guys, we are very serious when we tell you, when we say the New Madrid Fault is about to give up. And it's not going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty at all. Do you have any questions for me? Dennis is here in the chat saying he's sharing this with his family in Arkansas. Thank you, Dennis. I did the exercise in Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas is very beautiful. I loved it. I loved being there. I met a lot of wonderful people there that I still talk to all the time. At the Arkansas Emergency Management Center. They call it ADEM, ADEM, the Arkansas Department of Emergency Management. Great people. Annabelle is saying, people are saying that animals are acting out. I can only imagine they are. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Because animals can feel this seismic activity. Animals can feel the tremor activity. It's happening. The tremor activity is happening, and they're also seeing the effects of the solar flares. Every living thing on this earth is being affected by these solar flares. Every living thing. It's not just the earthquakes. The solar flares are affecting our bodies, our health, our minds, affecting the plants, burning the plants. Well, yeah. Last year I lost half my garden because of the solar flares. Yeah. Half my garden died because it was burned up by solar radiation. Not just heat. Not just heat. Any questions here? I want to thank everybody that's here. Yes, I understand it is Thanksgiving Eve. I totally get that. But I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving with your family. With that said, I want to see now if I can find a friend of mine's statement about Thanksgiving, because I want to share it with you. Very poignant. He's a wonderful man. His name's Jim Urban. I've had a lot of friends in my life. Lots and lots of friends in my life. My friend Jim Urban in Denver is one of those people. He gave somewhat of a sermon today about Thanksgiving. I want to play that sermon for you. Jim Urban's a great man. Let me play this sermon for you today. He talked about families.
Today is Thanksgiving Eve. I've been thinking about the empty chair, that quiet reminder of someone we love who isn't with us physically anymore. Sometimes we reach for an extra plate out of habit because our hearts remember long after life has changed. But I've come to learn that in Christ, no chair is ever truly empty. The Savior taught us that love is eternal. Through Him, relationships don't end at death. They're held together by His power, His resurrection, His promise that families can be together forever. Our Thanksgiving tables tell that story. There's the chair that belonged to grandfather who taught us kindness and tradition. The high chair pulled out when a new little one joins the family circle. The folding chairs borrowed from the neighbors because love always expands. And yes, there are the chairs that hold memories instead of people. But through Christ, those we love continue with us. When we cook their recipes, they're there. When we share their stories, they're there. When we pause and say a prayer of gratitude, they are there. The Savior's love fills the spaces with our heartaches. Our heart aches over. He's the reason for gratitude, and it never has to end. and the reason hope never has to leave the room. So tonight and tomorrow, whether your table is full or quietly tender, I pray you feel the presence of those you love, both seen and unseen, and the presence of the one who heals every empty place. Many happy blessings this Thanksgiving season, and the peace of Christ may be with you and your family. My love goes out to you. Have a wonderful. Today is Thanksgiving Eve. Thanksgiving.
Jim Urban from Denver. Wonderful man. A man I truly admire. I call him my mentor, and he says I am his. Jim Urban gave that Thanksgiving idea for us tonight. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. Let's remember God here. Let's give thanks to God for all we have, including our family members that may or may not be able to be with us in our chairs. But let's remember, they're still here. They're still here with us. As Jim says, every time we cook a meal, every time we prepare a plate, they did it before us. They taught us how to do it. May God bless each and every one of you during this Thanksgiving. May God be with you always. Much love, family. Much love, family. Know that we love you. Know that we love you. May God be with you this day and always. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Have a good night. Have a great Thanksgiving. We may come back on the air to show you what Carol and I are going to be doing tomorrow. Have fun, guys. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everyone. Much love. Just a second here. Hold on. I'm trying to find my outro music. Well, I'll be darned. Well, guys, I can't find it. I hope you have a good night, guys. We love you. Take care. God bless you. God be with you until we meet again. Take care. Bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving.